This channel summarizes and presents timeless self-improvement classics as practical wisdom. These summaries can be used for personal study, as well as material for corporate leadership training and communication workshops. Today, we'll be exploring the timeless classic How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, often referred to as a Bible for human relationships. We hope this video will enrich your relationships and contribute to your business success. Before we begin, please consider supporting our channel by subscribing and liking this video. Let's get started. Originally titled How to Win Friends and Influence People, this book has been a global bestseller, selling tens of millions of copies since its first publication in 1936. The book shares a wealth of anecdotes about prominent figures such as Abraham Lincoln and Theodore Roosevelt. Based on these anecdotes and real-life examples from training sessions led by Carnegie himself, the book offers invaluable principles for fostering positive human relationships. Its influence is immeasurable, with countless successful individuals proclaiming, "This book changed my life." This book is by no means a guide to manipulative interpersonal tactics. Its core lies in a philosophy of respect for others, satisfy the other person's sense of self-importance, show genuine interest in them. This philosophy is becoming increasingly vital in our modern age, where a decline in meaningful communication is a growing concern. In this video, we will systematically explain key principles extracted from the book, focusing on the 3 principles for influencing people, the 6 ways to make people like you, the 12 ways to win people to your way of thinking, and the 9 ways to change people. By understanding and applying each principle, you will undoubtedly witness a dramatic shift in how people respond to you. When it comes to influencing people, the most important thing to avoid is criticism. Criticism deeply wounds a person's self-esteem and breeds only resentment and resistance, the opposite of what we intend. When we want to change someone's behavior, we often resort to criticism and condemnation. However, this is counterproductive. Carnegie states, "When dealing with people, let us remember we are not dealing with creatures of logic. We are dealing with creatures of emotion, creatures bristling with prejudices and motivated by pride and vanity." If we want to change someone, we must first strive to understand them. Why did they act or speak in that way? Considering their background and circumstances is the first step. After a bitter experience, Lincoln stopped criticizing people altogether. The greatest leaders are tolerant of others' shortcomings, showing understanding and empathy rather than criticism. Starting today, if you feel the urge to criticize someone, take a moment to pause. Try to put yourself in their shoes. What motivates people? It's the powerful desire to be recognized, the need for significance. When this need is met, people feel deeply satisfied and develop immense goodwill and trust toward the person who recognized them. The secret to influencing others lies in how effectively you fulfill this need. It's crucial to distinguish between flattery and sincere appreciation. Flattery lacks genuine sentiment and is easily detected, often breeding distrust. Sincere appreciation, on the other hand, is heartfelt praise. It involves carefully observing others and generously acknowledging their specific strengths and efforts. Steel magnate Andrew Carnegie was a genius at recognizing, sincerely appreciating, and encouraging his employees. This was the biggest factor in his success. Try identifying and communicating the positive qualities of those around you in specific terms. Those words may unlock their full potential. The only way to get someone to do what you want is to make them want to do it. We are only interested in what we want. This is true for everyone else as well. Therefore, to influence someone, you need to present a way to satisfy their desires. For example, if you want your child to eat vegetables, simply ordering them to eat your vegetables will only lead to resistance. Instead, connect the action to a desirable outcome for the child, such as, eating these will give you beautiful skin. This principle applies equally to business negotiations. You should explain how your product solves the customer's problems and benefits them. Henry Ford described the secret to his success as follows: the ability to see things from another person's point of view, as well as from one's own. Cultivate the habit of constantly asking yourself, how can I make the other person want to do this? By adopting this perspective, you can avoid conflict, build cooperative relationships, and achieve your desired results. The most reliable way to be liked is to show sincere interest in the other person. We tend to like people who show interest in us. Remember their birthday, ask about their hobbies and interests. These small actions accumulate to build strong relationships of trust. And another powerful tool is your smile. It instantly conveys the message, I like you. I'm happy to see you. Even when you're tired, try to make a conscious effort to smile. Action leads to emotion. Dale Carnegie asserts that a person's name is, to that person, the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Making an effort to remember names demonstrates interest in the other person. It's the best evidence that you respect them as an individual. Leaders who interact with many people, such as CEOs of large companies and politicians, recognize the importance of remembering names and make a concerted effort to do so. If you're not good at remembering names, try using the other person's name repeatedly in conversation. Even simply saying their name as you part ways can make a big difference. The secret to a pleasant conversation is to let the other person speak freely. In other words, be a good listener. Most people like those who listen attentively to what they have to say. Interrupting or changing the subject to talk about yourself is a definite no-no. Offer affirmations, ask relevant questions, and create an environment that encourages the other person to continue speaking. A surefire way to capture someone's heart is to talk about what they're most interested in. Simply researching someone's profession, hobbies, or hometown before initiating a conversation can make it significantly easier to find common ground. By discussing their interests, the other person will enjoy the conversation and find you engaging. This was a method Theodore Roosevelt excelled at. It's said that before a visitor arrived, He would diligently study the topics that particularly interested them the night before. By conversing on topics the other person excels in or is interested in, they will feel respected and more likely to open up. The final principle for being liked is the importance of praise. Here, we'll focus more specifically on affirming how the other person sees themselves. Everyone believes they are superior to others in some way. Identify the points they take pride in and the areas where they put in effort, and acknowledge these with sincere words. By doing so, you can undoubtedly secure a special place in their heart. Arguments arise from disagreements. Avoiding them entirely is a fundamental principle of persuasion. Even if you win an argument, you'll only damage the other person's self-esteem and create resentment. When opinions clash, it's crucial to avoid starting with phrases like "with all due respect" or "that's incorrect." Instead, begin by acknowledging their perspective, such as, "I see your point. However, from another angle." Directly pointing out someone's mistake is as pointless as starting an argument. Even if you think the other person is wrong, never confront them directly. Subtly guide them to realize it themselves. Start humbly with, "I might be mistaken, but..." This disarms them, making them more receptive to your perspective. Conversely, if you realize you're wrong, admit it immediately and gracefully. By acknowledging your mistake first, you encourage the other person to be more forgiving. They might even try to defend you. The courage to admit your mistakes prevents unnecessary conflict and leads to swift resolutions. This isn't defeat, it's a wise strategy. Carnegie says, if the other person is angry, you must not raise your voice. Like the fable of the sun and the north wind, a calm and friendly attitude has the power to melt hearts. In any situation, try to speak calmly first. Words of friendship, empathy, and gratitude are more powerful than any rebuttal. When talking to someone, if you let them say no initially, it becomes very difficult to change their mind. This is because human self-esteem strives for consistency. Therefore, skilled negotiators start by asking questions the other person can answer yes to. By accumulating small yes, they make the overall direction of the conversation positive. This makes it easier to get a yes to the final proposal as well. This is called the Socratic method. It's wise to start by talking about common ground and points of agreement. People value opinions they come up with themselves more than opinions forced upon them by others. Therefore, let the other person talk enough and give them the opportunity to express their own opinions. It's enough for you to just listen and ask questions at key points. By letting the other person talk, you can sometimes see the problems and their true desires. If you want to persuade, first let the other person speak. This principle expands upon the idea of letting the other person speak. It's not simply about listening, it's crucial to make them feel as if they arrived at the conclusion themselves. By offering hints and posing questions, you plant the seeds of ideas within their mind. This way, they'll perceive the idea as their own and be more motivated to act on it. You can transform someone into a collaborator by asking for their input, such as, Could you offer any suggestions for improving this proposal? There are magic words to dissipate arguments and ill feelings, making the other person receptive to what you have to say. Those words are, "I understand why you feel that way. If I were you, I would probably feel the same." This simple phrase helps the other person feel understood, breaking down emotional barriers. Sincerely putting yourself in their shoes smooths any interpersonal relationship. Many people seek sympathy. They want someone to understand and empathize with their misfortunes and difficulties. The same applies when addressing customer complaints. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. We understand how frustrating this must be for you. A phrase like this, showing empathy for the other person's feelings, is essential. By demonstrating sympathy, you can soften their aggressive stance and pave the way for constructive dialogue. Everyone wants to believe they are fair and honest. Therefore, appealing to the other party's noble sentiments, such as their morality and integrity, is a very effective method of persuasion. You shouldn't accuse a customer with overdue payments of breaching the contract. Saying, "We believe your company is an honest company that keeps its promises," often produces better results. By sending the message that you trust the other party, they will try to live up to that trust. We live in an age of presentation. Simply stating the facts won't capture people's attention. It's necessary to devise ways to make the facts you want to convey more dramatic and impressive. Using graphs and demonstrations in presentations is an application of this principle. Consider how to present your ideas and requests to deeply impress them upon the other person's mind. The desire to gain an advantage or a sense of rivalry is one of the most powerful motivators for people. Salary and bonuses alone cannot maximize a person's motivation. Turning the work itself into a game and providing a healthy competitive environment can have wonderful effects. A simple phrase like, "We can't lose," can boost the morale of the entire team and improve performance. This is a method of appealing to sportsmanship. When you want someone to improve, starting with criticism is the worst approach. Instead, begin by praising their positive qualities specifically. It's similar to how a dentist uses anesthetic before a procedure. By offering sincere compliments first, the other person will be more receptive to constructive feedback. Many people are uncomfortable with direct criticism. Therefore, offering constructive feedback indirectly can be quite effective. For example, using "and" instead of "but" helps the other person accept areas for improvement without feeling criticized. A concrete example: "This report is truly well written." "It's excellent." And, "If you were to present this data graphically, I think it would be even more persuasive." Before criticizing someone, discussing your own past mistakes can be remarkably effective. Try starting with, "I also made a similar mistake once." This comes across not as a condescending lecture, but as advice from a peer. As a result, the other person will be more inclined to listen humbly. Giving commands can hurt someone's self-esteem and lead to resistance. Instead of saying, "Do this," try more suitable phrasing for your request. Offer suggestions in the form of questions, such as, "What do you think about this?" Or, "Would you be willing to give this a try?" Simply changing a command into a question makes the other person feel valued, encouraging greater creativity. Publicly embarrassing someone is one of the worst things you can do in any relationship. Reprimanding someone in front of others leaves deep emotional scars and can create lasting resentment. Even if someone has made a clear mistake, always strive to preserve their dignity. Protecting another person's self-esteem is a crucial responsibility of a leader. We all have a deep desire for the approval of others. When you see even the slightest progress in someone, acknowledge that small growth with sincere and specific praise. Offer concrete compliments like, "This is significantly better than last week," or "This perspective is excellent." This encourages their eagerness to learn and fuels their drive for further growth. If you treat someone as if they have excellent qualities, they will strive to live up to that expectation. This is called the Pygmalion effect. Give others a good reputation and let them know you have high expectations for them. A simple phrase like, "I believe you can handle this challenging task," can instill a sense of responsibility and confidence. If you want to change someone, treat them as if they already possess the desired virtues. If you want to develop the abilities of your subordinates or children, it's important to encourage them rather than point out their flaws. By saying something like, "You have talent, and I know you can develop it further," you can boost their confidence and motivate them. Overlook minor mistakes. Convincing someone that they are capable of improvement and success can lead to significant growth. The ultimate goal of leadership is to create a situation where people are happy to cooperate. To achieve this, it's essential to make people feel that they are playing an important role in their work. Giving someone a title or entrusting them with responsible tasks can fulfill their sense of self-importance and encourage proactive cooperation. Don't forget to clearly communicate the benefits to the individual. What did you think of Dale Carnegie's teachings in How to Win Friends and Influence People? The approach to interpersonal relationships presented in this book is something anyone can put into practice. By doing so, you will see changes in yourself and those around you, and your future will be transformed. Let's change the future together. Thank you for watching. Next time, we'll introduce another inspiring book.